Thank you, Coca 2005, for sending me this particular story. The links to this, as well as the PayPal email and Patreon, will be in the description. I can honestly say that this story slipped past me. I did not hear about this one. But this is coming out of Chicago, and it involves this thug that you see in front of you by the name of Marco Proano. I'm assuming that's how you pronounce his last name. 4 years ago, in 2013, he shot at a car with 6 black teens in the car. Just 6 of them. He sprayed bullets at that car, and as they sped away, from whatever reason as to why. 2 of them were wounded, not fatally. They survived. And he was, arrested, charged and whatnot. But he is going to only get a slap on the wrist. This man has been sentenced to only 5 years in prison for the crime he committed, because it was a crime. This was indeed a crime. Now, this is coming out of Chicago under former President Barack Obama's second term. Now, I already can tell that the caucus thing would be like, well, they were black. They should have been, shouldn't have been doing this, shouldn't have been doing that. Then they'll tack on the black on black crime bullshit. All that shit they love to talk about when it comes to black people. But he was only sentenced to 5 years in prison. He'll report in January. And then, and also in the article, they just had to make sure to mention how he had a wife and I think 3 kids to try to soften the blow. Like, how dare you try to take this man who just tried to kill some these black teens away from his family. And he probably would have gotten more than that, but his damn attorney used that fucking, I guess, the fear for my life angle. They didn't say fear for my life, but they said that he did it because of the growing anti-police sentiment that was going on at the time, or still going on. So basically, if one of the teens yelled out "fuck the police" or "fuck you pig" and whatnot, that was reason for him to pull out his gun and just start shooting all wild at their car. Because if that's the case, most of these damn cops don't need to have a gun. Because that means they can't take criticism from people who oppose them or don't see anything that they can bring of value. And also notice his name is Marco Proano, and look at how he looks. So much for that black and brown coalition. This is a so-called brown man shooting at black teens. Tried to kill them. Damn near killed 2 of them. This is why that whole black and brown coalition thing does not work. Notice that every time that shit gets brought up, some shit like this happens. I did not know that this even happened. I seriously didn't. To those of you who listen to my videos who live in Chicago, do y'all remember this story? Because sometimes I gotta ask, because I have people who live in various places who I can talk about a story and they'll tell me in the comments, I live here and I don't even remember this story. It happens. Mainstream media will cover shit up, but I definitely do not remember this story, because if I did, I would have like, oh, this story. It reminds me. And I think it's because at the time it was still a lot of stuff going on with Trayvon Martin and whatnot. It says that it happened he was sentenced on November 20th of this year. But with all the stuff that was going on with Trayvon Martin at the time, I can understand why we probably didn't hear about this and why this completely flew under the radar. And speaking of Trayvon Martin, I can't help but think that this guy almost looks similar to George Zimmerman when they cleaned his face up and whatnot. Ironically, that's what they did to him right here. I wonder what he looked like in his mugshot, even if he even took one. How did he look before he had to go to trial? Because they always like to make them look very presentable and innocent to the people in order to soften the blow, just like they did with George Zimmerman. Y'all let me know what you think down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. Be sure to, again, check out the links in the description and have your notifications turned on.